Let's see. Right now, I just got done putting all the bodywork back on the MS3 bike, and I am currently jumping into my email because Scotty sent me a file he wants printed that I cannot convert over there. Odessi.com. It's a step file, so I got to convert it. Which means I need to open Fusion. Autodesk Fusion. Cancel. We gotta kick open Fusion 360 for this one. Spin. So what we're kicking open right now is a file that I was sent a link to by Scotty. I'm actually currently printing a file for him. Kind of show you what's up there on the printer. Alright. File. View design, file. Open. From computer, we're going to go to downloads. That. Oh, look at that. It's a part. What did I do? Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, you got to shift in here to rotate. Anyway, I don't need to do anything. I need to... Nope. Oh, wrong thing. I'm still trying to figure out Fusion at all, but I know how to do what I need to do right here, which is export. Use 9 Ringr downloads. I need to switch it over to a STL file. Yeah, STL file. Export. Export complete. Alright, hold on. Can't let y'all see my email. Way too many confidential things in that email. Anyway, I need to reply to this with the file. Downloads. STLR. Send. Now, this is the easiest way to do it without grabbing a thumb drive or anything. I can walk across here. And I've done spin. Set up a workstation over here, guys. Thanks to Nichols helping me go get this desk. So I'm going to go to my inbox. Hold on. Download that file. That's done. Alright, we can go back here. So this is one of the next things I want to print. It's a phone holder for my tripod, so I can film with it. But anyway, file, new project. Yes, I understand it's going to clear it. File, open files, download. This thingy. How do I multiply this? It's got to be a way to... Let's just do 1 to start with. How about that? I kind of like the way it's laid out. It's going to have some supports, but it's probably going to give the best strength. I don't know where the structural strength of this is. I'm really worried that's going to create a shear, because it looks like a sear of some sort. So I think what I'm going to do is that side over there flat? Yeah. We're going to print it. Like that. Because then the grains will run this way. What's good, Logan Boyd? What's up, Tabassum? I just butchered that. We're currently drawing something up for Scotty. I'm going to run super high quality, full infill, 100%. Supports. I want tree. I want touching build plate. So it'll only do supports on the bottom. That red surface will hit supports. Let's see what slice is at. Probably should have done this one earlier. Yeah. 21-minute print. Hell yeah. So that one won't be bad, but we're a long ways off on that because we were at 2%, 2.5 hours in, almost 3 hours in, to a 1.25 day print. This one's going to take a hot minute. So these are some pieces for Scotty, and those are pieces for me. This is yesterday's print. Found out after doing some reading, don't need that. Don't need that. This right here is going to snap right onto the front of this and sit just like that. Now you may notice that this doesn't look like the print because it doesn't have a top. That's because it got to here and the power flickered and it faulted and it killed the whole top of the print. I don't know what's up with this crazy texture. I don't know if it's just lack of adhesion in between or what's going on there. It's kind of weird. Kind of digging it, but at the same time not, because that is starting to show up on this one too. But oh, and I did paint them. Anyway, I'm going to design a cap for this because it was just starting the crisscross cap, which is just a flat plate. So I'll measure the thickness of this and then just print a cap. Call it good. But right now I'm printing the drawer that goes in that, and then 2 pieces for Scotty, which are, let's see, that and control. That, set A and B. Them things. Let's do a move. That way y'all can kind of see what we're looking at here. These things, I have no clue what they are. They look a lot like the bottom of a magazine, but the lettering's wrong for that. So I'm not entirely sure what they are. Looks like they bolt together too. But I'm doing these at 100% infill because they are, I do know, for a piece of a firearm. So, gotta do that. This is PLA, these are prototypes, so they're probably not going to survive. If they fit and everything works the way we think it is, I am ordering a roll of PETG CF, so PETG carbon fiber reinforced, and that should work good for that. Give y'all a quick run through the station. So we got the 3D printer, we got the freaking torch for knocking off the freaking hairs after I scrape as many of them as I can. All these pieces will be in this drawer. That's going to be right there. That's what that drawer's for. Drawer full of wiring tools. This is my cutter strippers, cutters, solderless crimpers, my pin crimpers, soldering iron, scissors for heat shrink, cheapo multimeter, and my cheap multimeter with my snap-on amp clamp. This is full of a bunch of loose wire bits. This is all the parts for Brett's bike, which is right there, that I need to ride, but it was raining today. Let's see, swing over here. I got some microfiber towels for wiping stuff off, some frickin' speed wax, some window cleaner. I did print, I printed a Shrek toothpaste cap. So you screw this under your toothpaste as a cap, and it poops out the toothpaste. Printed that off for Nichols, his wife requested it. Got pins for Nichols' bike. That's the next thing that's got to get over here for wiring. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be a wiring area and an outbound area. So Nichols is going to get spun around and brought over here. You'll notice this opened up a lot. I did a lot of rearranging today. Just trying to get things flowing. So down here is a bunch of my common connectors, my mechanical butt connectors. They're not sleeved, so they're bare. Naked butt connectors, whatever you would call it. D-pin tools, some 4-to-1 heat shrink from Wirefly. These are some of the bigger sizes that I don't generally justify buying in a roll, but I bought in a roll anyway, so I've got them. Back here is, let's see, that is 5/8, half-inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/16 heat shrink. Bunch of my cheap crap wire that I had. This is primary wire. This is super high amp primary wire. It's like 10 gauge and 12 gauge. And then this is some comm wire. This is what I use for the dyno for comm. I do have Tefsel, and I will slowly be replacing these all with Tefsel. Brought my monitor from home. Brought my keyboard from home, my mouse from home, and we have the big boy computer set up. That is my little monster. It's a Lenovo Legion. It's got 64 gigs of active RAM, 1 terabyte solid state hard drive, and a GTX 1660, which I finally found the limits of. I cannot play Storage Hunter Simulator, turns out. Let's see. Obviously, I got nice lighting here. Up here, we got the alarm system, some of the connectors that I don't use so often, like heavy gauge battery terminal kits. These are solid copper. Believe it or not, you can get these, the best dealers to buy these on Amazon. They're solid copper and they're freaking tin plated. Heavy terminal kits with heat shrinks to match. I like using these, they work well. My bajillion resistors, some heat shrink butt connectors and eyelets, and some non-insulated ring terminals and spade terminals. Those are for more like the AMS 2000 stuff. Super 33, my favorite electrical tape in the world. And then I've got harness tape. This is soft wide. This is what I use around stuff that I can't get looming around. Typically I use like this split loom, right? It's nice, it's flexible, it's a little more professional than the accordion crap. It's split, so it's nice to service. I need to order a roll of, I believe this is quarter, and this is 3/8. This is the 3/4 big boy stuff, I believe 1 inch. This is the big 1 inch for main harnesses that I never used. And then I need to order about 1,000 foot of this crap because I use the living crud out of this. This is non-split, pain in the butt, but God, it comes out as a nice product. Like the final product from that is amazing. Pins and connector kits. Let's see, this is all the connectors to make ignition bypasses for G6Rs. Spare injector plug. All the connectors for a Gen 2 Hayabusa. Yeah. Some Deutsch connectors and crap. Just doing a live little wander around. We could do just shop update. That bike's buttoned up. I got the next controller set. Everything's ready to rock. Brett's bike did nothing today but roll it over here and wipe it down. Because about the time I wanted to take off and go for a quick ride around the block a few times to work on the on-off clutch tuning, when it loads and unloads, is when it decided to rain. Let's see. Ye olde selfish over here has the 9080 on it. That was hilarious to watch. So I mounted it, but I couldn't get it on the bead. So I took it to Longshore, or not Longshore, place called Heinz Tire here in town. Hilarious. I spent an hour sitting in my car laughing at them. This bike will not get a radiator. There's enough room for a cut if I really want to wedge it in there, but we're going to dry block it. So I got to get block off plates and such for that. But first, he needs a flat oil pan. It is currently sitting on the oil pan. It is touching the ground right now. But once the flat pan's here and the master links will be ready to rock, he's supposed to be sending me money for the master links and stuff here in a little bit. Ricky was over, started cleaning on some of his stuff. His bearings are currently on back order, waiting to see what's going on with them. Let's see. Well, a couple of his bearings are on back order, but the place I order from doesn't ship them all unless they have them all. Doesn't ship any unless they have them all, which I like because then I don't have bearings floating around here with no purpose. This motor, still have nothing but rods. Haven't heard from him. Haven't reached out either, so fair enough, I haven't reached out. This girl fires up and runs. Yay! Needs air in the tires, and he has to come put the gas tank back on, and he's got an oil leak. That is Nickel's son's new race bike, if he doesn't sell it. Gypsy's just chilling. I got to roll it out and do some pinning. William, his bearings are in the same order as Ricky's. So, just waiting on them. The red bike, I've got everything but rings. The rings are supposed to be shipped, so we're going to see. Fingers crossed. What's going on with that? Scotty, haven't heard from Scotty, but his crank's back. All I've heard from Scotty was about getting those printed. We've been talking in the group chat. Let's see. I got an almost brand new 120/60, I think it is. 120/70 Stealth chilling here. That came off Selfish. I'm sure he's going to want to sell it. So if anyone needs it. The other tire is a dyno tire that was provided by a customer for me to dyno his bike. This little four-wheeler. I'm going to have Nichols do the work on this, short of the welding. So this, you may recognize. If you've been around a long time, you'll recognize this. This gentleman brought me 3 of these little suckers that he pulled out of his backyard that had been sitting there for 4 or 5 years, and fixed them up for his kids and such, and apparently he parked them about 6 months later. Well, they've been parked ever since. This one wants to start, but doesn't want to stay running, so I got to have carburetor cleaned. Obviously, is going to be more of a problem than anything. Carburetor cleaned, change the battery, and the last time around we had to clean the connections, contacts inside of the kill switch and inside of the manual kill switch, so the tether and the kill switch. So probably going to have to clean those connections again, and it'll probably run right. He did say that they had, and you can tell from the suspension the way it's squatted out and blown the hell out of the back shock. They were riding around with 2 kids in the back and 2 kids in the front seat, and they snapped the frame. Ripped the muffler off and everything. So I gotta weld that back on. So I'm gonna have Nichols pull the tail, clean the carburetor, all that, while I'm welding that up. The MS3 bike is starting to look like a bike again. It's got its own gas tank, the nose is back on, the headlight works, taillight works, everything's working. Still need to wire in the backup camera he has, and the lights for the gauges. That's all I got left for wiring. And I got to run this. So this is a fan bypass kit. So the stock switch still can turn the fans on, but you can also bypass it. This is that heat shrink I was talking about over there that I like using with Tefsel. So I got to run this around to the other side to a switch he's got labeled fan, so he can override his fan rather than having it hacked into the harness like it was. That's about it. I got to take, I also have to take and order the connectors. I'm going to put a connector on here and then do a dual fan plug and play harness that'll plug into here. So I can run dual fans on it because it does only have one fan wired in right now. That connector will only take a couple days to come in. I got a lot more than a couple days of tuning to do on this. But it is coming along, slowly but surely. It's starting to look like a bike again. There's going to be a lot of tuning to do. An unbelievable amount of tuning to do. Jimmy's, I went ahead and rolled out. I got to get everything over here and on the table. The table was covered in MS3 bike parts a little bit ago. Got to get this fired up and ready. So this bike isn't going this weekend, but me and Jimmy will be at Holly Springs this weekend if it doesn't rain. If it rains, never mind. But if it doesn't rain, we are going, and we're going to go fast. And anyone who wants some fucking smoke, come on out. We're going to have some fun and see if we can't freaking whoop on some people. We're bringing the turbo, by the way. About all we got going on. I haven't seen the gentleman in the comment section that wanted me to jump back live. Hey. How do I feel about Laster Mountain with a good prep as far as bikes and power? I've put down some pretty good numbers at Laster. It's weather. So every time I've gone, it's been either right after rain or it was really cold and we struggled a little bit, but we had no problem putting down some decent numbers. I think the fastest number I put down there was a 5.0. Okay? And that was like 128, 127, 60 foot. I've got a bike down there that I tune on, and he's been to Laster when the weather was good, and there hadn't been rain recently, and the prep was, as usual, good. And we put down a 108, so fair enough for me. He did go faster than I've personally seen there. The ticket he sent me was a 470, so it'll do it. I don't make the trip very often. It's a pretty decent trip for me. It's like 200 miles. Another late night. Yes, Dennis, it's another late night. So here lately I've been slowly moving my way to later. Again, I'm notorious for this. I'll sleep in one day, right? Then I'll come to the shop and I'll leave the shop, 2 hours later. The next day I'll sleep in another half hour. The next day I'll leave the shop a half hour later than the night before. And the next thing you know, I'm working night shift. Is what it is. Just got to work when you feel your best, especially when you're working on projects that, with a little lack of attention, can cost a lot of money in a hurry. If you wanted to race somewhere other than Lassiter, if you wanted to specifically catch me, the track to hit would be Jake's Drag Strip. That's where I go 90% of the time. If I'm testing, if I'm screwing around, I go there. That's where we run Gypsy a lot. That's where we run Scotty's bike Tulip a lot. And that's where I test probably 90% of my drag bikes, right? I take them there to go test. Like I said, we're going to Holly Springs this weekend if it doesn't rain. So if you want to swing by there, we'll be there. Me and Jimmy. Yes, Dennis, me and Jimmy are going to Holly Springs this weekend, and we're going to go throw down with the turbo because we got the arm, and we got the shock, and we got everything on it. So that ought to be fun. That's about all I got going on. As soon as the rings actually show up for the red bike, I need to holler at you, Dennis, because I was going to send that one to you. I'll probably ride it down there with the rings and shit in my pocket and just drop it off to you. That was the simple top end one. Just so I can get it done while I continue to progress on this pain in the butt. Hey, I earned it. I accepted it. I think that's all I got. Track Life, you got any more questions before I sign off of here? Like Dennis said, it's getting late. I'm really thinking about going home. I gotta go to the freaking Walmart. No. Tractor Supply tomorrow. Get cat food. Can't forget that. They got rather pissy. I had to dip into the oh shit stash. So if you didn't know, my cats are on an auto feeder. And when it goes empty, I know it because they get pissy. And I always keep an extra 2 cups tucked away in the cupboard in case I forget to grab cat food after I fill it last time and it goes a week. I dumped that 2 cups into that, and that's 2 days worth. I'll have to look at Jake's up. Never heard of it. Met a guy at Big One, said he would run last year, a bike called Peaches. I've heard of Peaches. I haven't seen Peaches. I know quite a few bikes that run down there. As far as I know, the track works good. Frog's got it on point. If you didn't know, Frog's the owner. Jake's is up here in Moulton. So, probably a decent drive from you from Birmingham. Moulton is, what is it, like 30, 45 minutes from here, something like that. It's home of Stedman's Monster Turbo Systems. And the track is just past there, out in the boonies. Don't want to get demonetized for vaping on YouTube. But, yeah, I like Jake's personally. And the downside to Jake's is you try and run fast there, you run out of shutdown in a hurry. So, fastest I've put a bike down Jake's is 160 mile an hour on the 8th, and it was a struggle bus to stop it, we'll put it that way. And that bike had all its brakes. If you're lacking a brake, you're going to struggle. Most of the guys try and stop at about 480, 490s, 145, 150 there. Any faster than that. See, that funny thing is we weren't even in the fours running freaking 160 mile an hour. Turbo Life. That was a, what was it, 520 something at 158.9. Basically 160, we rounded up. Not bad. But hopefully now I can get after that thing and use that mile an hour to my advantage. Delete. Delete. I think I'm going to sneak this little piece that Scotty has into my print that I wanted to do. The phone holder. Open. Files. That. Open. I want this in there. This needs rotated. Has to be rotated. That'll work. This nut I want to print in that orientation. It's weird having to print threaded things and things that are under stress. What would the time frame and cost be for installing a Max Sport on a new G-Ball? Been thinking about purchasing one, and you show proof of your work. So, depends how you want to do it. Are you looking for ultimate weight savings, building a harness from scratch? You're looking at about $1,800 for me to build the harness plus the cost of the max, and the time frame you'd be looking at is about 5 weeks right now, 5 maybe 6 right now. Plug and Play, Greg Smith and I developed a plug and play along with John Gover and a few others that contributed greatly to it. They helped him with some of the programming. I did all the tuning and finish, and Greg, of course, did his thing with the plug and play portion of it and the circuit board design. That I can install and tune in 2 days. And it is, if you want to race tune, if you're just going to race the bike, I can do it for $800. Installed and tuned. And it'll come with track support at least one time. If you want it, it'll be Lassiter one time or Jake's 2 times. Okay, I got to factor in mileage into the cost of that. So, I believe that kit's like just around $3,000 for his plug and play. So you'd be looking at $3,800-ish out the door, depending on what features you add. I love it. I've got a G-ball with it on it that flies. Can't tell you how fast it flies, but it flies. He's sold, I believe, 7 of them now. But yeah, custom harnesses, there's a longer time frame on them because, well, it's a lot of work. I gotta identify all the connectors, get on Course Tech, order all the connectors, then loom all the connectors out with Tefsel, lay the whole thing out, do power distribution. If you want lights, then that's a whole nother ball game. Race-only harness isn't so bad, especially if it's all motor. So it's not terrible, but the plug and play is the quick and easy way. You're just going to have about 5 pounds more weight on the bike total. And you can get rid of the ABS. If you have ABS. Pretty sure you have ABS. It's bone stock right now, race only. So like I said, you're looking at, I'd probably highball you and just say 6 weeks. Just going to say 6 weeks to get a harness done for that bike and get it tuned. All right. Biggest thing you want to do to that, if it's bone stock, first thing you need to do is weight reduction, weight reduction, weight reduction, weight reduction. If you wanted to at the time, when we do the max, we can put it on M5. It's fairly straightforward and easy on that. There's a budget way to do it, and then there's an expensive way to do it, so it's up to your budget. The budget way to do it is to upgrade the intake pump, and then I have an injector that fits on the top, drops right in, works great. Just got to change connectors, and we would be on the top of the fuel system to run M5. Wouldn't be able to run anything more, no nitro. The right way to do it, especially with you getting a max, would be to put it like ID 16s or ID 13s on the top. And it'd be ID 13s. I don't think they even make a 16. A lot of people do the 17, but it has atomization problems. I'm not a big fan of the 1700s anymore. I'm finding them to be a bit of a pain in my ass. Unless I'm looking for stupid high horsepowers, I'm not going to use them. Basically, if you want over 600, ID 1700s on E85. Otherwise, I don't use them. And then we do an external fuel pump, PTFE lines, and external regulator. That would be the right way to put it on that. And then you'd be able to go to nitro if you wanted to in the future too. Nitro makes little engine act big. If you want a big motor, I might have a deal for you. M5 makes a big horsepower difference. Biggest thing is torque. I got into this last night. G-balls don't make a lot of torque, right? You're talking about a G-ball. Okay, the GS6R. Oh, you did say G-ball. Okay, you knew what it meant. G-balls don't make torque. They just don't. They got to scream bloody murder. M5 makes torque. It makes that motor act bigger than it is. So you're not going to see the outstanding horsepower numbers up top that you see from like a Busa going on M5, but you're going to see freaking torque out the ass jump up. Like I'm talking, you're going to gain 10 foot-pounds of torque. which is outrageous. Nitro is a whole nother ballgame. But yeah, if you wanted to do a big motor, I might have a deal on a big motor. Depending on if he's still interested in that deal. Last I talked to him, he was, but things have changed. So he was looking to trade his big motor for a stock motor plus $15,000 cash. But I have to see if that deal's still something he wanted to do or not. Because last I knew, he was done fucking with that bike for a while, and he was going to do a different one if he was going to race it all. But that $15,000 motor is an HTP build, not one of mine. It's an HTP bike. Y'all want to watch 3D printer for a minute? Let's watch 3D printer for a minute. It's so fascinating. I'm gonna set y'all up. Ish, maybe. This is why I need the tripod thing. Fine, I'll just hold you, and y'all can just watch. Listen to the ah, that's annoying. Still don't know what's causing that crazy texture. Like, it's cool and all, but I have no clue what's doing it. Y'all, I can't even see it. It looks like forged carbon fiber texture. You can see it on here. It's doing the same thing on that. Except it didn't do that, it did it. It's smooth still, but I don't know what causes that. And it's gonna drive me batty. How can I reach you tomorrow after I send my trucks out? I'm interested. So, tomorrow, the best way to reach me, jump on Facebook. This is the best way to reach me. It is Facebook Messenger. You're going to look for Logan Ring. It's going to be a cancer ribbon, right? A maroon cancer ribbon for throat and neck cancer. The second way to reach me, and you're going to want to grab a pen and paper. I'll give you like 30 seconds here. Everyone on here's heard my number before anyway. And preferably text me. Ready? 256-394-2010. That's 256-394-2010. Text messages are my friend. Okay? I'm ADHD and anxiety as hell, and I don't like calling people and talking on the phone. I don't know why, I just never liked talking on the phone. So, text messages are awesome. This is what I'm doing next. This is the next print now. So Scotty's part's up in the top there. That is the part that latches into my tripod, which, if y'all didn't know, this is how bad I am about this. The YouTube channel, the LLC for the YouTube channel, actually owns a very nice tripod and open. I've had this thing forever. Like, uber forever, right? A very, very nice, rotation is locked. A very, very nice Canon DSLR. I just don't use them. The phone is way easier. Hey man, I saw a comment on one of your old Suzuki vids from a year ago saying you still had a set of GSX-R throttle bodies, space for a Bandit. Do you still have them? I'll buy them off you. No, I do not have them. So a gentleman out of Arizona built a sandrail, and he put a GSX-R 1100 motor on it, a Bandit motor, and turboed it. He bought all my fuel injection, all of it. And I actually was on a plane to fly down there and help him set it up in the dunes down at Glamis, and my flight got canceled while I was sitting in the plane because the plane broke. So I wound up doing all of that remote in the airport, frickin' setting them up. But yeah, no, all that is gone. All that's left of Susie is, well, Susie herself. It actually still looks like a bike. It just didn't have an exhaust or anything. Jonathan Ladd. Good evening, is this available? Sorry guys, hold on. Yes. It is. I'm trying to sell my bike. Suzy Q, eventually, someday, some millennia from now, will end up getting put back together with a set of frickin' RS38 flat slides, pod filters, and a frickin' stock wiring harness and ignition system. Someday. I do need to get the head that I have down there chilling and send it off to Port Tech and have it ported appropriately, because the head that is on it I went too far with. And the chamber size is now smaller than the runner size, and I've lost so much velocity that it actually lost horsepower. I went too big. Who knew it? Back then I didn't know that was a thing. Now I do. It also is why it exploded. Interested in an SUV? No. No. Nope. No trades. Cash only. Sorry. I'm not in need of an SUV. I'm in need of cash. Otherwise, I wouldn't sell the damn thing. Yeah, someday I'll get Suzy Q out. Someday. Somehow. Like, Dragonfly is just a frame and some body work chilling up there. I've still got, if you're far enough back in to remember Suzy Q's build, you remember Frida 4-barrel. I still have Frida 4-barrel. I still have the chopper that no one's ever seen. In all honesty, carburetors aren't that bad. EFI works. It's just kind of a pain. Worth what you're asking? Okay, thank you. Well, then why are you even messaging? Whatever. Gotta love Facebook Marketplace deals. Anyway, guys, it is officially getting late and my phone battery's officially dying. I turned it on at 38% and decided I'd go live till it was almost dead. We're at 5%. So, y'all have a beautiful day.